Hey, welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, so that could mean only one thing. We're playing Descent into Avernus tonight, and picking up right off where we left off last time, with our heroes having arrived at Fort Knucklebone, and we'll momentarily we will see what they're all up to. But first, before we get started, as always, I'd like to encourage you to follow the channel. So that you can get the notifications when we go live with the various things that we got going on the channel. We've got a number of different campaigns that are up and going at the current moment, and so we always appreciate when we got people like Pruno out there hanging out with us to cheer on the folks, chat with us, and EXP rich people like Pruno can spend their points in the store. You get points for watching the different streams, and you get bonus points. You earn it faster if you subscribe to the channel, and so that's one of the fun ways about watching our stuff is you can drop inspiration on the players, help them out with the various things that they're trying to do to achieve their goals. You can insert a rumor into the game. You can name random NPCs. Help me out because I'm terrible at coming up with those types of things. Or if you're a villain yourself, if you want to try to be like the infamous Ron who pops in here sometimes, and you can redeem things like wandering monsters and the such. So check those things out. The link to the stream store just popped up there. And let's see what else. Speaking of subscribing, subscribing to the channel also may offer you opportunities to play in games on the channel. We have a community. We call it the community campaign. Right now, we are working on the Isle of Dread, the 5th edition conversion that Goodman Games did of the old classic from the expert rules set. So we've got one of those games happening this week on Friday night at 7 p.m. And I still have a slot open, so if you subscribe to the channel and this is news to you that there's something happening, go back into your emails and look for, I think I sent it on Monday, a link to join that particular game. So if that one doesn't work out for you, that's okay. My hope is I've got basically one of these subscriber games happening once a week at this point. So I always let the patrons sign up for those games first. But historically speaking, we always have one or two slots open in any given game. So those get opened up for subscribers to try to take advantage of. So look out for stuff like that. But yeah, let's get right into it with Descent into Avernus here tonight. Previously in the campaign, our characters had found... Oh, there's a woo. The first woo of the night. Winston is just subscribed 17 months in a row. Thanks for the support. Winston, we need to see you in a community campaign again sometime. I feel like it's been a while. Let's see. Yes, so last time in Descent into Avernus, our characters had... really, they originally came here because they were looking for Grand Duke Alder Ravengard. And they found him, and they learned some things from him, that he had a vision in his attempt to commune with Torm, and in his vision, he saw what he believes might be the key to releasing El Terrell from the infernal contract that it has with Zariel, the Lord of Avernus. And Kit is continuing a gifted sub that they got from Jakers McBob. Ooh. Yes, this is what the players or what people in the chat, they love doing this. Don't let Alex speak. I did cut down the little thing a little bit because it was a little too long. I had to chop off the end of the music. Yeah, so you all found Alder Ravengard, and he relayed to you this vision that he had of seeing this sword, and he believes that it may be the key. In his vision, he saw, I guess, more details on that. He saw it was a soldier of El Terrell, one of the original Hell Riders that had the sword, and with that warrior was Lulu. He instantly recognized and pointed Lulu out to you that he saw her in the vision as well. This warrior took the angelic sword and plunged it into the earth as it was being stalked by some demonic forms that he saw lingering out in the distance. And as the sword was plunged into the earth, this alabaster palace sprung up, almost in like kind of a protective kind of mode. And in that happening, that transformation that was happening, Lulu went sailing away, kind of flung from the sight, and for days upon days, he said he saw her fly to exhaustion until she dropped and eventually was found by two Kenku, who the party now know as Choka and Clonk, who sort of nursed Lulu back to health and let her go on her merry way. But in hearing these names, Lulu regained a sliver of a memory of those two and remembered the location of Fort Knucklebone. And so the party at this point, they have Lulu. It's fortuitous that Lulu is with the party because Lulu may be able to kind of lead them to places that might be relevant to finding the sword. And so they went to Fort Knucklebone to see what they could find. And this name had come up a couple of times anyway, from Black Cloak and from Black Cloak's manservant, B.B. Beekman. And so you all went to Fort Knucklebone, saw some things, encountered some characters. You helped Chukka and Clonk repair one of their infernal war machines. Just kind of learned a few things about some of the characters that reside there. All the while you were waiting for Mad Maggie. And so that's kind of where we left off, was Mad Maggie coming home, seemingly upset at some of the mad caps and the red caps that are in her employ. Um, there was this flesh golem that you saw lurking about Fort Knucklebone, who seemed to have something wrong with his foot as he was limping around, and Mad Maggie seemed really upset that maybe they were playing a prank on the poor thing or something. So that's where we left off. And before we like pick up and get right into things, it's probably like always, I'd like to give our players a chance to introduce themselves and let us know who our cast of characters are. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Players, if you just, I don't know, give us a name, your character's class and race, and I don't know, maybe just give us some insight into where they're at. Where's their headspace? What are they thinking as they have come to Fort Knucklebone? And let's start in. I always start on the top. Let's go reverse order. We'll start with Bryn being played by Ethan Ope, and Pruno just redeemed award inspiration. So let us. Okay, Bryn, you're getting inspiration right off the bat. So
Oh, great.
tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Bryn Herthley, and I have inspiration. Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm playing Bryn Herthley. She is a halfling warlock. Um, I guess her current headspace right now is, I don't know, she's kind of, I don't think she's had enough time to process what's going on right now, that they're in hell and they've reached Fort Knucklebone, and she's had way more contact with her patron fiend Black Cloak than she was ever planning on having. And I think right now she's just trying to figure out what what they're gonna do next, and just starting to realize the implications of her pact with Black Cloak.
Awesome. And maybe hoping to meet him or run into him here since he had mentioned this place. Maybe there's still a way to work out some kind of deal. He had hinted that
Definitely.
he was maybe open to that. but you had your hands. You were kind of busy at the time when you've previously met him. So awesome. Next up, we've got Aplos being played by Casey.
So hi, I'm Casey. I'm playing Aplos. He is a elven young man, and he is of noble background and is a paladin. Um, and he's actually having a pretty good time despite being in hell. He wanted desperately to go on an adventure. He's on possibly the most epic adventure that's ever been epicked, and he's right in the thick of it. And he finds himself perfectly suited to this because um, early on, a whole week ago, he was fighting in bars and really getting his head handed to him repeatedly. But now that he's up against like demons, he's just absolutely rocking it. So he needed to get to like the big fiends, and now he's there. So, you know, two thumbs way up. He's a little concerned about the how we get home after this adventure, but that I'm sure that works out. Always every story has a happy ending.
Yeah, absolutely. So feeling good, Aplos is. So awesome.
Though, minor concern, the food sucks. He's not happy about that. Um, and he's not allowed to have any of the delicious baked goods that are being passed around by the children.
Yeah, Evangeline won't have that.
Cool.
All right. Next up, we've got Lorem being played by Kit.
Hi, my name's Kit. I play Lorem Goldshoulder, who is a dwarven glamour bard. He is the owner of the adventuring firm that has employed these fine individuals to journey into hell, although I don't think any of them got the choice to take this job. It was kind of lofted on them. But his headspace right now is he's in a lot of different places right now. One, it's hell, and that's no fun for anyone. Two, he has a very, very, very important piece of paper in his pocket now that has a very, very important signature by Older Ravengard on it, and he's very excited that that paper make it home safely. And he's very amused by all of the characters that he's met as of recently, because it's been nothing but bad. But now we have a bunch of really silly people that we've been dealing with, and he's rather relieved.
Awesome. And then next up, we have Evangeline being played by Lauren.
All right. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm playing Evangeline. She is a kind of vaguely elven looking rogue. She, in her life before hell, was a merchant, and now she is apparently an adventurer. So here she is, adventuring. She, headspace. She has been being tempted by Blackcloak to sign over her soul in return for all of the children who he's been bribing with cookies to sell their souls. She's kind of stringing them along, trying to, wait for some pot sweetening, which she has been doing, but she has resisted up until this point. So she's now kind of interested and intrigued by these horseless carriages that they have. So she's kind of excited to see where that goes, and is feeling relatively hopeful with their chances of accomplishing their goal. That is.
All right. So, as you were kind of talking with maybe the Kenku and BB and things like that, that's when you heard Mad Maggie kind of yelling, and you saw all. So, just for the audience, where they're at, they're in this huge. Just think of this huge junkyard that's kind of around this kind of hilly dirt mound that kind of looks like a fist or a hand. big, huge heaping mound. In the crevices of this hill, that's where all the trash and metal and old husks of machinery have kind of crept up, and that's where her crew. They're scrappers. They salvage and repair stuff. So you just got big piles of this stuff laying about. There are some buildings or some structures that presumably house a number of the denizens of Fort Knucklebone, but for the most part, it's kind of a bleak, kind of disorganized mess that you are in. Although, like, kind of organized chaos, because they do sort. They sort their recyclables and things like that. But Mad Maggie is here, and she's decorated in all sorts of an array of bones, from anywhere from humanoids to demon trophies all over her. She's got these big kind of goggles that are kind of strapped right next to her infernal horns on her head. And she's got that hag, wrinkly skinned look, this visage of kind of cruelty, but also I don't know, maybe there's a glimmer of like an old granny, like an old mean grandma kind of look to her as she's hobbling around. But you can see she's like tending very nurturingly to this flesh golem. And she says, "What did they do to you, Mickey? Oh, come on, dear." And she's like gingerly like helping it to sit down. And you can see now the big thing kind of like boom, flumps down. You can see there's this big like bone shard stuck right in the bottom of its foot. And she's kind of tending to that. That's what you see.
I don't know what to make of that.
She seems concerned, personable. I don't know.
Everyone here seems to like her.
I don't know if running in fear really qualifies as liking, but I suppose we should introduce ourselves.
Yes, probably. And I will go ahead and start walking over towards. I know her name is Mad Maggie, right? Because BB
Yeah.
referred to her as such. Okay, yeah. So I'll just kind of tenderly start scooching up towards her.
You start moving towards her. You can see Lulu is like, phew, like zooming like ahead of you, like, oh boy, new friends. She's kind of hovering all around. Mad Meg is looking up. Huh? What was that?
Apologies. That's one of our crew. Hello, Lorm Goldshoulder, representative and owner of Gold Shoulder Consulting and Concern. We were brought here in the search of those two Kenku fellows back there.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you there, Lorem. Where did you get such a fine specimen as that?
Kind of a funny story. That is a bit of a coincidence. She just seemed to tag along for the ride here.
Tag along. I think that it's you that's the tag along, if I ain't mistaken. I had some dreams that Lulu would be coming here.
Is that so?
I did. Do you know what you got here?
Yes. She seems to be something special.
Right you are. What's your name, young man?
Oh, hello. I'm Aplos. And it's very nice to meet you. I'm uncertain as to how titles work here. Is Mad the sort of title where I should bow, or
You don't need to be all formal with me, Aplos. Just treat me like a friend. We're all friends here.
Oh, well, I do bow to most of my friends, actually.
He's from nobility. It's baked in.
Noble types. Well, that's all right. We won't hold it against you there, Aplos.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I
how
think-
about and you well, what's your name there, miss? And he's looking at she's looking at Evangeline.
Mute.
Hi. Hi, I am Evangeline. Nice to meet you.
There's something about you almost kind of feels familiar. Where are you from?
All over, really.
I like you. I like you. And then she turns to Bryn. And you, ma'am, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Bryn Hurthley.
Oh, you're Bryn. Oh, I've heard so much about you from old Dr. Blackcloak.
Oh, really?
He sees a lot in you.
Yeah. Is that?
Says he sees great potential in you.
Okay. All right.
Seems so sure of yourself. That's all right. You'll have lots of time. I'm sure he'll be around here sometime soon. Please, all you folks, make yourselves comfortable. Maybe I could get you some food or something to drink. You're probably parched from. You're not from here. Let's see if I can conjure you up something. And she starts like produce some clean water for you to drink and some food that still doesn't taste like wonderful, but it's a little bit. She's able to put a little bit of a spark into it to maybe make it passable. Anything tastes delightful compared to the ash flavored apples and things like that you've been trying to eat. And she continues forward and she says, you know, this creature here that you've got, this Hollyphant, this ain't no ordinary creature. You know, this one has a past with Zariel.
So we've heard. She doesn't remember all that much, though.
Well, she doesn't. I reckon she wouldn't.
Do you happen to know what happened to her?
Well, I don't really know. I'll tell you, I was real sore at those two, and she's waving her finger at the two Kenku, when I heard that they'd run into young Miss Lulu here. I would have really liked. I'm somewhat of a scholar of things related to Zariel. I'm trying to collect all sorts of info on the mistress of these lands, but I reckon if she doesn't have her memories, maybe she had some kind of encounter with that there river that flows through the middle of our plain.
We've heard quite a lot about this river. I can only assume that it has some sort of magical ability to make people lose memories. Is that correct?
Quite right. You're a bright young man there, Lorem.
Thank you.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what happened here with Lulu, but nothing is final. I reckon with enough time, I might be able to poke around in that there noggin, see if there's some shadow or some memories. They can't be gone forever. They're still bouncing around. We just need to find them.
Oh yes, it is very common knowledge that a Hollyphant never forgets.
Ha! I like that, Aplos. Right you are. So it will probably take me some time to conduct the ritual to bring us in there, and I'd be happy to take you along with me as we travel through her mind and see if we can learn something.
Well, that sounds like an interesting prospect. What would it entail?
Well, we have to experience things as Lulu experienced them. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to do this. But It's not an easy type of thing to make happen. So may have to take some time. Y'all's got anywheres to be, or you stick around a while?
Well, I think staying in one place as warm and welcoming as this for a spell sounds delightful. What about you? You all feeling that as well?
Um, this seems to be the most hospitable place that we've been in since we got here. Don't you agree, Athos?
Oh, yes. And I smell cookies.
Oh, well, that can be
Yeah,
dangerous.
maybe we should avoid those.
Smell cookies like back in the sewers smell cookies, or smell cookies as in like hell cookies?
Um, some from cookie A and some from cookie B.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at all.
I'm not convinced that those are different cookies, to be
I was
honest.
gonna say they might be the same cookies. I think we really need to talk to Black Cloak and see what the bakery situation is.
Yes, I think staying here would be good. If Lulu's okay with us entering into her subconscious, then I think that might be a good idea. Help us figure out maybe some way of finding
Yeah.
the sword or
And as you kind of broach that topic, Lulu, flies into your view, and she says, "Oh, yes, Bryn. I am most excited to try to find some way to get back to Zariel. Find out what happened to her. People are saying such mean things about her. I know it's not true."
well, she is kind of the ruler of this layer of hell, so is that what you're talking about? Or are there other mean things people are saying about her that we're not aware of?
Well, I just hear it seems like everyone says her name and they get all scared. They've got this look of terror on their face. And that's not how she should be remembered. She's inspiring, and she's a leader, and she's good. I know she's good. So I will let you explore all of my memories if it will help us to find the truth.
Oh, it would certainly be helpful.
And as you're talking, you hear some wah, wah! The little madcaps up on the top of the gatehouse are like, wah! And they're like kind of freaking out, and Mad Maggie's looking up at them, kind of like almost like she doesn't half understand what they're trying to say, and she says, "Now just out with it, little one. What are you trying to say? What's that? Oh no! Whoa, we can't let them. Oh my." Looks like we're going to have some company here. And you can see she's kind of waddling away. She gets up, and you see Mickey, the flesh golem, kind of goes and just kind of like idles in a corner. It's trying to hide. And like all of the like madcaps and the redcaps are all just kind of scrambling all about the fort.
Should we be assisting in defense or preparing hors d'oeuvres? I'm not totally clear on what's happening here.
Aplos, if you got it in you to help us out, then you want me to help you with the memory thing? I gotta be alive to do it. We got quite a situation happening right now. One of my rivals, a wereboar by the name of Ragadraga, a real mean sort of fella. He's riding in here, and then you can see like a couple flasks of like alchemist oil. Or flask of alchemist fire dropping down on the camp. Ooh, watch your step now. Look, they've got. Oh, we got redeemed a word inspiration to Evangeline. You've got inspiration from the chat. Thank you, Murderous Bee. Thank you. So Mad Maggie just says, look. They got all sorts of infernal war machines out there, and I hear you repaired one of mine. Is that correct? That thing over there? She points to the demon grinder that you fixed up last time.
Oh yes, Evangeline found a missing gear.
Well, that's just in the nick of time, it would seem. Look, frankly, I trust you all a little bit more with it. You could see how my madcaps treated it last time. And she flips Lorem. She flips a coin your way. She says, "Just throw that. There's a little slot in right near the driver's seat of that thing. You guys sort out how you want to deal with it. But I need someone to ride that thing out there and take the fight directly to him. Meanwhile, we all take care of the little ones, little bikes and such that they're driving around, flinging all this whatnot over the wall."
Well, I guess we should get on that then, and I'll start running over to the war machine. I'll take a look at the coin that I caught.
So it is kind of like an ebony black, almost like it almost feels like warm to the touch. This coin. It seems to be made of, I don't know, maybe it's like an adamantine or some kind of like strange foreign metal. And it's got like, I don't know, you never seen a coin quite like it. This. Got this strange sort of emblem on it that you don't recognize. I guess you could give me a religion check as you're looking at it.
I will certainly try.
Very high DC, but maybe.
Who knows? Maybe I'm lucky. I'm not.
Not so sure what that emblem means or what it is.
All right. Well, I'm just heading furlong at the war machine.
And as you start heading off in that direction, you see Mad Maggie climbing like up the hill. And when she gets behind what looks like basically like a big, like, I don't know, kind of janky looking like machine gun type of thing behind a seat. And she's kind of like, maneuvering it about, and like she starts shooting at things off in the distance that you can't quite see over the wall. You can see that the Mad Caps and the Red Caps are kind of like taking positions at various places on the wall too, with various weapons and things that they're throwing out at the enemy. And so here's a image for the audience to see what the Demon Grinder looks like. Got this huge contraption, 6 wheels in total, each a little bit bigger than the smallest. Big, huge contraption at the front end that seems kind of like a hinged demonic mouth that designed to do damage to other vehicles. On the back end of it, it has this big wrecking ball, and on the top, a couple of stations where a couple of crew members could sit behind these javelin throwing kind of harpoon gun things. And so this is the vehicle that the party recovered and repaired along with the 2 Kenku last time. And I believe in the in between here we had the party kind of dole out some roles. Who's going to be operating what?
I am gunning straight for trying to find where the driver's seat in this strange contraption is.
Yeah, you get in behind the controls, and you can see there's not only is there kind of like a steering wheel kind of thing that seems to also kind of operate as like the throttle, or the thing that you press to accelerate. And there's also some controls there that seem to operate. Another kind of like lever type thing that seems to operate as you're testing it out maybe a bit, the jaws at the front, and then there's like a little coin slot that you are surmising is the way that you when the big red button there to hit, presumably you pop that coin in and then hit the button and off you go.
All right, well, I put the coin in my breast pocket and holler at everybody else to climb on.
Yes. Come on, Stevia. Boom. And he puts him out there. And I guess he hops in and gets behind the wrecking ball part. Yes, the tail shall wag the dog. It's funny. I didn't think much of my training at court would come into play in this hellscape. But look, I'm already defending ladies from boorish great gatecrashers.
That's a good point, Aplos. And I'll hop in, and I'm going to be just doing the mechanical stuff, anything that breaks or needs, tweaking while we're driving. So I don't know if there's a little place for me to kind of climb into near the engine or something, but
Yeah, I mean, there's other than the weapon stations, if you just want to ride, there is a space on the interior of the vehicle where you could stay put. There isn't necessary any repairs likely that you're going to have to do are going to be on the outside. So at some point, if you're going to be the grease monkey of this thing, you'd have to there'd be some skill checks involved, particularly if you're trying to do such things while it's moving. But possible, depending on the type of damage that is incurred.
Yeah, Bryn looks over at the machine and she raises an eyebrow skeptically and says, you want us to ride that? And there's like a pause, and then her face starts a smile starts creeping up her face. And she jumps behind one of the harpoons. Says, I call it harpoon. Imson, take the other one. And Imson jumps off and
Imson's the best
he's
day of his
very
life.
small and sits in this very large seat behind this very large harpoon gun.
Awesome. I'm just trying to find an image real quick. So as I'm doing that, so the vehicle is parked there. You all found your seats, and I believe we've got Lorem in the front seat. What would you like to do?
So I take a look at the coin. I put it in the slot.
As you do so, as you hit it, you can kind of hear like a hum start. There's almost like this sickly red aura like coming from the slot, but you just hear this like when the proton packs get like powered on. You can feel it. The hairs on your arms start to like rise up on your cheeks.
Okay, so does it look like I have to push the big red button to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I slam that button.
You just hear like this like terrifying thousands of screams like coming out the back end, and it like starts to like pull forward even though you're not even like touching the it's like pulling itself a little bit. So you grab control of it and start to navigate it out the front gate, and the madcaps there do open up the gate just in time for you to kind of make you're still testing this out. You don't know it too well. You're testing it out. You're learning on the go, right? So you manage to like maybe scrape like the side of the gate a little bit as it's firing up out the front gate into the flat plains of Avernus. And away you go, and you can see there's all sorts of nonsense happening in the background. There's a number of look like were-rats that are on like these operating like smaller sized infernal war machines that have like catapult things that they are launching like the alchemist fire and things like that over the wall. It looks like for the most part, Mad Megan or crew kind of have that handled. What they can't handle is the equally sized vehicle, equal to yours, basically in make and model, another demon grinder that clearly has. You can see the werebore himself is behind like the driver's seat, and he's got all sorts of other creatures clinging and to the different spots just that you're occupying, and they're kind of like. Circling around in the background. They're not taking like an active role in the assault, but it seems like that's your target is taking up the leadership of the whole siege. So go ahead.
Mr. Laurel, I think you're going to have to either run into them or just past them, like with a lance, because this doesn't swing very far. So just past them or over them.
I'm trying. I'm just like,
No, I can't. It's it's very weird that they designed this that I have to look over my shoulder constantly.
So
and I just start driving in that direction.
So initiative is rolled, and Laurel, you're up first. So we're doing this theater of the mind style. So just kind of narrate to me, especially because we've got some rules that kind of I'm going to be pretty loose probably with the rules that govern the driving and things like that. But essentially, on your turn, especially so you driver, your action is driving the thing. If you don't use your action to actively steer the thing, it just kind of continues straight forward in the trajectory you're already going. In which case you could, use the weapon part. Right now you are coming out the gates. What would you like to do?
I'm going to take Aplo's advice, and I'm going to try and aim us so that we hit the werebore like just a little bit off, like just barely miss them.
All right. So we're gonna say like you're trying to like not like ram into them, but like get up like maybe like parallel to them or like right up alongside. Okay. So you go firing off into the hellscape, and again like the thousands of screams behind you kick you forward a little bit as you go screaming towards them. You're pretty close. You're maybe like 20 feet away as you bridge the gap between you and them. And then it turns to their turn. 1 second. This will help if I have the book open as well. All right, so you go firing forward. One of the opponents on your ship, on the other ship, you can see is just kind of. They're all kind of. You're not quite close enough for many of them to take their shots quite yet. Anything from Impsum?
Yeah. Is Imsum allowed to fire a harpoon?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Then nothing from Imsum. He'll be behind the harpoon, attempting to fire it, but he is much too
Pulling back on the trigger as hard as he can.
He's doing like some kind of like assistance. We'll say like he's doing some like assistance kind of things. Maybe he's like helping to like reload or something like that. On the other ship, or on the other demon grinder, one of the were rats that's behind one of the harpoon flingers is going to try to take a shot towards your vehicle. It misses. Evangeline, it is your turn.
All right. So since I see Imsum there struggling a bit, I'll kind of climb into the second harpoon seat to take a shot there.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know. Are you guys able to open up the demon grinder on your combat tracker, the green one?
Let me see. Demon.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I can't click on it. I don't know
Doesn't
if I
let
can
you.
click on
Okay.
anything.
Go ahead and roll. We'll just kind of go manual with a lot of this.
I just like moved my turn. Sorry about that, but
Oh, that's all right. Just roll me a d20 and add plus 5. Wow. Okay. This will do some damage. Roll me 2d8.
Right.
So one thing that you are noticing about this other demon grinder, it is immaculately maintained, unlike your kind of clunker junker. So you're getting the sense that theirs actually has like a really nice metal plates that are protecting the whole thing from head to toe. Yours is a little patchy, so there is a difference.
I have a little
But-
sketch.
Looks like
But theirs
15.
has harpoons in it now.
Yeah, it does. And
Yeah,
there were
yeah,
some
so-
decent hits there.
So this is like kind of a piece of that is like you like take a shot and you fire like right kind of right where some of the rivets are on the plating, and like it actually does like manage to find a weak point, and you can see like the harpoon kind of like jerking back and forth like it's hit maybe some mechanical bits on the inside, and wrecks it up a little bit. 15 points. Very nice. Another thing I should probably point out is these machines, damage threshold isn't something that I think many players often deal with. There's a minimum amount of damage that you have to do before damage actually takes hold. And so both yours and their machine have that. So
Oh,
10,
okay.
10 points has to be done or it's negligent,
Okay.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
So next up, very nice. We go to Finnick, who is on their craft, and another one of the harpoon tries to shoot a harpoon your way. And misses. Aplos, it is your turn.
So Aplos is sitting in the rear seat. So he's looking out like one side, and Stevie is looking out the other. His hair's blowing in the wind. Stevia's tongue's going the other way. And they're like, how do we think we're going to be maybe within 15 feet or so before his next turn, or are we still a ways away?
You're like 20 feet right now, so
20 feet.
Um,
So he's like, defense, offense. Looking down at this machine. DM, do you think the Aplos would think that this counts as like a creature thing that he could coat with a shield of faith and improve its armor class?
not the machine itself.
Okay. Then he'll be like, offense! And he starts to swing he'll hold action for when we get within and then hit with the ball because it's got a 15-foot range on it.
All right. Also, I just in case it's not like explicitly clear, if you want, you can target the individuals on the machines too. They're not like in concealed or anything. Like they're out and they're exposed. They do have, as do you, various bits of cover and things like that. But
I feel we'll just go with the machine itself
Yeah.
for this swing. Just get used to the swinging.
yeah,
Nature of it.
not necessarily for your turn, but just so like everyone is aware that that's totally like in play. All right, Bryn, you are up.
All right. Yeah. As Lorom's driving out, Bryn is just hollering the entire time. She realizes that having your mouth open in a very fast vehicle is probably not a good idea. So she pulls down her headband and puts it like her bandana over her mouth. So it's like really Mad Max style. As her hair is just whipping in the back. And
You don't
as
wanna
she's
get-
hollering, she's just gonna point at are there like are any of the enemies on like any harpoons or any other weapons that I can target with my Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, it looks like there are two were rats. They're all lycanthropes, and they're all in like their hybrid form. So you got two were rats up on the harpoons. You've got were boars at the other stations, and kind of riding along top is this one boar who is seems like you can see he is fidgeting with like a gauntlet around his arm. Not at any of the stations.
Okay.
He's
Is
got
that
a
Ragged
power
Dragon?
buff.
It is Ragged Dragon. Okay. Can I target him?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to target him with both of my Eldritch Blasts.
That'll hit.
Nice.
And then second one.
Hits. Ooh.
Ooh, this warlock stuff is working out for you now.
Woo! All right. That's her turn.
Then it turns to Ragadraga's turn, who instantly, like, kind of trains its gauntlet on you, Bryn, and is going to little arcs of flame kind of shoot out. Bryn, you, let's see, I think maybe have a bit of cover where you are.
Says I
You
have.
got half cover, so you get a +2 to your AC. Does 21 will hit. And they totally have this damage coded wrong. It says that this does 72d6 damage. It's
Oh, well,
Just
I guess
look-
I'm dead then.
fortunately it's just 2d6. So 11 points. Second ray is a 13, which I think with your cover for sure misses. And then there's a third ray, which is a crit. 22 points of damage.
Ooh. Oh no.
Well, friends, I'm down.
So Bryn just gets like kind of carved up, these third-degree burns all over her body, and she's just like passed out in the bucket seat behind the harpoon gun.
Was not expecting that.
All right, it is then Lorelm's turn.
Where is the position of like the drivers compared to everything else? Obviously, the big wrecking balls in the back.
Like
Am
the
I-
driver. The driver's seat is kind of like, you see this image that got shared where like Mad Maggie is.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the driver's spot.
So I'm in front of Bryn.
Yes.
The harpoons are in the back. Okay. I would have heard what was going on, and I'll look back and see that Bryn is now just like slumped over in her chair, smoking probably. And I will go ahead and go, oh shit! And I will cast Healing Word at a second level on Bryn. That's gonna be.
Very nice.
You're almost at full now, right?
I'm halfway there.
All right, and that is going to be my bonus action, and then for my action, as we're driving, are we like coming up parallel to the other war machine?
Yeah, if you want to. You're not quite there. You would still have to take the reins and kind of maneuver this if you want to make
Yeah.
that happen. Like you'd be able to like kind of do like a spin move and then like be right alongside them, and then you'd be driving like parallel.
If possible, I want to do that, and then so that we have a moment where we're right next to each other, but I want to continue to drift past. I don't want to stay interlocked directly next to them, but I just kind of want to do like a drive by.
Okay, so then you'll be able to use your action there'll be like this moment. This turn will basically be this moment where you're passing each other. Like you can
Yeah.
you can slow it down enough that your team can do their things and their actions that they want to do. Maybe hit it a couple of times and then fly off.
Exactly.
Perfect. It is then
So
there.
as he swings closed, held action.
Yes.
Yes. And for that, Aplos will burn his inspiration and try and hit it real hard. And 20? No. What happened? 10 plus 9, 19.
9.
If only.
Got it. Okay,
9.
19. You're. It hits the side of the thing, but dong, superficial.
Oh.
And then it turns to Jibbs's turn. Jibbs is going to do the same move in your direction. At your demon grinder. It has a similar dong as superficial. Next up, we've got this guy, Oziwog.
These are great names.
Yeah. So he's gonna maneuver his vehicle so that it's like right behind yours. Like it moves and like just does a swivel thing, and so they're on like your heels. Next up, we've got Imsum. If Imsum wants to do anything,
No, Imsum's good.
and then we turn to one of the harpoon flingers on the other side. Is going to try to take a shot at your vehicle. Misses. Evangeline, it is your turn.
Actually, Alex, is it
Oh, go
possible for Imsum to? He's still invisible. Can he get onto the other person's demon grinder?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have him do that and see if he can like just mess shit up? Just pull things.
Yeah, what like who does he want to target? You've got driver, you've got a couple of people on the harpoons, you got a person on the swingy ball, and then you've got the big boss standing on top.
I guess if he's just like trying to pull things to screw up the control of the demon grinder, would be like the driver.
Okay. Give me a I'll say a dexterity check. See if you can like slip in there and like do something while the driver is like pulling all these levers. He's got to kind of like be careful and like time it right.
Okay.
You
So
went
just
from fifth to reverse.
straight dexterity, so that's +3 to this roll. So not good.
So yeah, he gets in there and like he's like trying, and then like he's like too afraid to like get in there because every time he goes to move, the driver's like doing some other like complicated thing at the console. So there's just no effect right now. Maybe if it was like a nat 1, it'd have him like totally flub out and he gets like whacked and then reveals himself. But
All right, sorry about that.
no, that's all.
Oh, you're
That's good.
It's great.
Evangeline.
All right. So just to be clear, like the harpoons swivel, right? So I can swivel back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
You can
I'm
aim 'em.
gonna swivel it around and take a shot at him, and I'm actually gonna be aiming, not necessarily at the machine directly, but at the driver. more
Okay.
than the machine. Yep. So, let's see, and I'm going to use my inspiration for this. And I'm glad I did.
That'll be a 21. I just have to look it up because he's got 3/4 covered, so I gotta see what his.
Okay.
That'll hit.
Yay! All right, so do I do 2d8 again?
Yes.
All right. There's 1 and 2.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna kind of like slump down a little bit in my seat, and that's my turn.
So you will see like your harpoon thing like shoots through him, and then like he like for a moment like his body kind of like rejects it and pushes it out, and it drops away. Because they are lycanthropes, your harpoon doesn't seem to have any effect on it.
Wait,
No
really?
effect at all.
Even though demon grinder weapons are magical?
Are they?
Are they? Yeah.
It's stated in the stat block.
Come on, demon grinder, you can do it.
We
Yeah.
believe you.
For some reason I was thinking the harpoons weren't, but
Uh,
it says-
uh,
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Yay.
I mean, they are being launched by the power of souls.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I had it in my mind going into the encounter that the harpoons weren't, but you guys saw something in there that I didn't.
Yay, reading the stat block rewards.
Nice.
I think it also says there's a
15.
machine gun on ours too, Alex.
Oh, do we have a machine gun?
Oh.
All right. So that was Evangeline. It
Yeah.
then is Finnick's turn. And he is, I think, at one of the harpoons. So he will return, seeing that, he'll return fire on Evangeline. And so you got a +2 to your AC.
All right. Still don't have a great AC, but fingers crossed. I'm not immune to harpoons.
19.
That'll hit.
That'll be 14 points of damage.
Okay. Do I need to put that in myself?
I can do it.
You can do it? Okay.
There it is.
All right.
All right, next up is Aplos.
So Aplos like looks back at it and he's getting ready to swing his ball, and then he like seems to like have this idea, and he casts Moonbeam right between him and the cart, and then he gets ready. He's like, if he tries to escape, I'm gonna hit him with the ball. If he runs through it, we'll see what happens. So his action will be to cast Moonbeam like right there in front of it. Because they're were creatures. And it'll be funny if they drive into it.
Which one is this on?
So he's going to cast it right in front of their vehicle. So basically, they can either try and hard turn, in which case he's figuring they're going to come out of range and he'll get an opportunity attack with the wrecking ball, or they're going to drive through it and everybody's going to get moonbeamed.
That's
I love it.
Okay, so
Oh, clever
like
Aplos.
the moonbeam is like in between your vehicle and theirs.
Right,
Yeah.
Got it, okay, all right.
just in front, so that they either have to hard swerve or drive through it and take all the damage.
Sounds good.
I love it.
Let's see, Bryn, you are no longer unconscious, and you awake in your seat behind the harpoon gun.
Great. Am I within 15 feet of them?
Yeah.
So if I casted like a burning hands, would I be getting multiple people or just some people?
I think from your position, you could get like the driver.
Just the driver?
Yeah.
Probably not worth it then. Okay, then I'll just do the same thing that I did before and just Eldritch Blast. We will do the let's see, Does anyone fire? I'll keep going at Ragged Dragon because he knocked me unconscious.
Hey.
That's a hit.
Second one. I don't know if that hits with the cover.
He doesn't really have a lot of cover. He's not in like a station. He's just like riding tall on the top of this thing, so that'll hit.
Oh, okay. All right. And then can I guess, as my movement, just drop prone to like limit any ranged attacks at me?
Sure. Sure, you could do that.
All right.
He's gonna go and take a leap. He's gonna try to leap onto your vehicle. This is gonna be a little bit tricky. He's got a moonbeam to deal with. What's your spell save DC, Casey?
Spell save DC is a number. Why is this being so hard to find?
It'll be 8 plus your stat.
11. That can't be right.
He fails his saving throw, so he's going to end up passing through that. I'm gonna have him do like a separate skill check to see if he can actually get onto your vehicle. But in doing so, he definitely passes through the moonbeam.
Whoa,
If it fails, he also reverts to original form. Is he a flying piggy?
No, he.
Oh!
I guess he just turns into like a human, a really ugly, overweight, piggy-looking man, but unfortunately not a true pig. So he does. He rolled a nat 20 on the skill check. So even though he's gonna take how much damage?
What are we doing? I'm doing one of these. So he's doing
And Winston, thank you for the cheer.
12 points of damage.
And he grabs onto the vehicle and climbs up, and he's like towering over Bryn as his turn passes. But he's like, Bryn made the choice to like go prone, and now like the big guy, he's got this huge maul of a hammer, is like raising it up very menacingly. And then it is Laurel's turn.
Seeing how we've just been boarded, that would have caught my attention, and now I see that Bryn's about to get Gallaghered, essentially. I am going to turn around here. Oh, choices. What do I do? I guess it's the same. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attempt to cast Command on Ragged Jagger.
Okay.
Where is he in that thing? So,
Fails.
That was at the wrong one because my screen was lagging. It dropped it on the wrong person.
It's fine. The roll that happened would
same
would
number
fail.
fails.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is my.
What is your command?
Like he failed.
Like he fails. He failed the saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
That's much better.
I am going to.
That's what you want.
I was just reading the fine print. I want to see if it will.
Always got to read that fine print.
Yeah, I think one word, right?
Yeah. So,
His one-word command has an asterisk with it and several lines of description below, though.
yeah. Um, okay, I'm just going to command him to fall,
Okay.
hoping he falls off the side of a moving vehicle and gets crushed.
Yeah. I believe he does it on his turn, right? It's not like makes him do a reaction.
Yeah. Or follow the command on its next turn.
Perfect. All right. So that happens. That's your action. So your vehicle is continuing
Gonna
forward.
keep driving straight. Yeah, it'll be my turn.
Jibs is at the vehicles. This is the driver. He's going to use the chomper on your vehicle.
So is he driving through the radius?
Yes. Yep. And I'm going to say there's no dexterity saving throw. He's driving right through it.
So it's a con save versus, and I figured it out. It should be a 13, and I'm just hoping some of these turn into rats. Like, I'm hoping some of them are animals. Rat wares instead of were.
Right.
Instead of werewolves.
Yeah. Wolf wares instead of werewolves.
I'm gonna have the driver will automatically fail the saving throw and take full. I'm gonna give the other ones that have a little bit more leeway to avoiding it. They'll do a saving throw. What was the save DC? 11?
13.
13.
13.
So 1 failure, 2 failure, 3 failure. They all take full.
Woo.
And they'll
Yeah.
turn to their human.
And only 7 for him, but still. I was expecting rats.
And then gonna use the chomper on your vehicle. Nipping at the back where the exhaustion is coming out. Ooh, but it misses. Next up is one of the harpoon. No. Guy at the back on the wrecking ball. So he just readies that. Impsum still up in the cockpit.
Yeah, still gonna try and mess with that pilot.
All right, another dexterity check.
All right, +3.
Okay. So, Imsum flutters in there. Imsum noticed what controls he used to make the chopper go, and Imsum manages to find a bit of debris or something that is laying about in the cockpit from all this there's rubble and dirt and rocks that get kicked up in there, and jams something in there so that mechanism is stalled out, or at least for until he can maybe take an action or something to undo it.
Sounds great.
And then it turns to another one of the javelin flingers. Is going to shoot. This one was shooting at Evangeline, I believe. Going to take another shot. Evangeline, you have a +2. You're still up there. But 21, I think, even with that, will hit.
Yeah, it will.
All right, 7 points of damage. Then it turns to your turn.
Oop. Sorry, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I'm causing chaos. All right. I apologize for that. So, the guy who is in who's boarded, do I have a shot of him? Actually,
yeah.
I can just so
Although I'm gonna say it's a
Just
shot
like
at disadvantage on your own ship but you could
Okay.
still potentially take that shot.
Could I just take a shot with my crossbow? Just like pull out my crossbow and try to shoot
Yeah.
him, or would it still be a disadvantage?
Yeah,
there?
yeah. If you want to use your normal weapons, you can do it like normal.
So I'm just gonna take a shot at him, and kind of try to like knock him off balance a little bit, since he has to fall anyways, to try to make sure he falls in the right direction. That's kind of what I'm going for there. Columnist DCC style. All right. And
That's what this encounter is designed for.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna toss it into the shot. Oof, but that's not gonna work.
Misses him, unfortunately.
It's a lot of chaos happening right here. And I'm just gonna be like, sorry guys, and turn back to the thing, the other chompers.
All right. Let's see. Finnick is another one of the harpoon flingers. He's going to take a shot at your vehicle, which has been holding up incredibly well. No damage to it yet. And you will get none from this attack.
Woo!
Aplos.
Did an amazing job fixing it, guys.
So Aplos is taking a swing with the wrecking ball. Just straight at the teeth of the one behind him.
Oh, this is going to be really interesting because if you do enough damage, a mishap will happen.
Okay, so as he's doing, he's like swing. He's like, I wonder, can he slam a divine smite through this? I'm gonna ask the questions now. Get him out of the way.
I'll say yes.
Woo! So he'll throw a second level divine smite behind this one. And this thing did a lot of damage.
So how many dice do you roll, Casey?
Hang on. So the wrecking ball itself does 8d8 plus 4, so I'm at 16d8 plus 4.
My gosh!
And then I add my divine smite to it.
That is amazing.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
For
8, 9, 10,
lycanthropes,
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know if I got 16th.
Oh my gosh.
It'll tell us when you roll it. You can just add more if you're short.
Oh, that's so many dice.
Oh, that's a lot of ones.
Oh.
That's so much damage.
13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's 16d8. And then 4 to that. And then a divine smite. I like this button. Does this thing count as a fiend by any stretch of the imagination?
No.
Okay. I just figured I'd try.
You gotta ask.
Just try. So then we'll add an extra couple of that. Oh, it was a crit. That. So 81, 85 points of damage.
All right. Roll me on top of all that a d20.
Okie dokie.
Make it explode, Aplos.
13?
Unlucky number 13.
Okay. So obviously, as this wrecking ball comes slamming into the front of this thing, and it shears off like a number of the teeth, and actually punctures through the front armor of the demon grinder, and you can tell it must have wedged itself into some pretty vital engine parts, because there's just big columns of black smoke that are just pouring forth, and you can see the whole thing is driving kind of erratically. They cannot see you at this point. There's this obscuring wall of smoke that comes crashing up. Nicely done.
Oh, Mr. Lorem, I hit it!
I'm just scream cheering because that was so cool.
It's amazing, Atlas!
I think I'm going to switch to a horseman's mace over a lance in the future. This was rather satisfying.
Bryn, it is your turn.
All right. So I am prone right now with a werebore, or now just a boorish-looking man on top of it.
Kick him in the nads.
I got that right.
Yeah, you heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I heard Lauren command him, right?
Mhm.
What was the command? Drop?
Oh,
To fall.
Oh. Okay.
Do a Sparta kick.
yeah.
Oh.
If you can knock him over the side, then that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with my Eldritch Blasts.
Oh, because you got the push.
Because I have the
Yes!
repelling blast.
Oh,
So my first one, I'm gonna use my inspiration on to make sure I hit. So I'm gonna roll at advantage for the first one. Oh, it didn't actually do it. Oh, sorry, I know why. Sorry, so that's 18. I'll just roll another one. Sorry. Okay. So 18 plus 6 is 24.
That'll hit.
All right, great. And then actions. That's 12. And then the second one.
That'll also hit.
Nice.
Ooh. And you, each one pushes him 10 feet?
Yep.
All right. So what happens is you push and you blast. He was already maybe kind of going that way anyway. I was interpreting that fall to mean like fall off the vehicle. So he goes flying off through off the backside of your demon grinder, and you just see his like form kind of pass through that wall of smoke, and then you just see like this big pluming like ball of fire. As the whole thing, you can see the demon grinder comes flipping up and spins and crashes down like upside down as it like comes crashing through the column of smoke, and it's just skittering all through the dirt, and big explosion. Give me Impsum. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
no.
And you just kind of feel like your connection with Impsum kind of disappear. You're maybe waiting for him to come flying through the pillar of smoke, like that moment. Like, did he make it? And it doesn't appear that he did.
It's okay. He died in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, Bryn will get up and like she'll look back like over the demon grinder as the explosion happens and just like let out a holler and then immediately go, oh. She realizes her connection with Impsum has been severed.
Question, DM here. We're on Impsum's home plane. Is he dead?
It's a long silence.
Because we just killed a devil in hell.
Yeah.
That means they're dead.
No, devils still respawn. That's why the blood war goes on and on and on.
You'll be able to bring him back.
Okay.
Cool.
They're dead now, for now, so.
So you can tell like the battle is kind of winding down over at the fort. You can see this like kind of like heaps and piles of little fires from them burning down some of the other vehicles, the other things that belong to this gang. And you notice that there's this one bike, like a motorcycle kind of thing, and there's like a guy with a big black cloak on it, of course, running around, driving around, like shooting like Batman style, different gadgets that are like incapacitating some of the other vehicles, and he's popping wheelies and having a grand old time. And at some point, that vehicle comes and is like riding right in tandem with you all. And you can just see it's Black Cloak, and he's riding, and he's looking up, and he gives you like a thumbs up, and he's like signaling back to Fort Knucklebone, and he breaks off, starts heading in that direction.
I will go ahead and do a quick victory donut in our war machine, and then circle back around towards the fort.
All right, give me a performance check, but using dexterity as the base stat.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
13.
It's above average.
Yeah, you do for what you know of this vehicle. Like, it's a pretty decent little donut that you do. You manage to get it to orient itself back straight in the direction of the gate, and then pick back
It
up.
fishtails a bit, but I got it.
And so you all arrive back at Fort Knucklebone. And as you bring the vehicle back in and park it and dismount, you can see both Mad Maggie and Black Cloak are there. They seem to be conversing maybe a little bit about the battle that just happened.
Oh, we probably should have picked up the boorish fellow's bracer. That did seem flamey.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it was no match for my.
Oh, yes, that was rather impressive. The way you double tapped him up into the air before he came back down.
Yeah, that I'm gonna have to admit was pretty great.
I think that was worthy of a bonus when we all get paid. That was incredible.
It was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, I have to say.
Now, everybody talks about hell being a really bad place, but that was the most fun I've had in years.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Agreed. I
Now,
think it just gets a bad reputation.
my next question is, where do I get one of those? And I'm pointing at Black Cloak's motorcycle.
And Mad Maggie says, well, I might be able to find something for you. I got plenty of things lying about. And Apollos, don't you worry about that. You said you saw some stuff over there on my adversary's person. I could surely send my madcaps out there and retrieve that for you. I am happy to have you take that as a trophy of your victory here today. And some time passes, and you do see like a red cap, or a number of them like went out there and it was salvaging what they could. One of them tosses the wristband. I put it in the party sheet for you for whoever ends up wanting to take it. It's there. Basically, it operates like a circlet of blasting. But they also have like this bag that they toss Mad Maggie's way, and you can see Black Cloak is looking, and he says, "Well, now, Mad Maggie, I think some appreciation should be thrown this way as well. I did assist as well, and it's those coins. I would really like to get a few of those if you don't, if you can give them to me." And like they're negotiating a little bit about, apparently there was a bag of soul coins on the body of Ragadraga or his crew. And they start squabbling about who deserves what. And Black Cloak looks over as they're squabbling. They seem to decide that they can settle it later. And Black Cloak comes over near you, Bryn. And he says, "Now, Bryn, that was some mighty fine fighting that I saw out there. I wasn't expecting to see you down here in Avernus all so soon, but it seems that you're ready for it.
Well,
how was it?
I admit I had some hesitation. It is hell after all, but I mean, I feel like I'm I don't know. It might be just the proximity to you, but I feel like I'm getting more powerful.
That's
And
it. You're leveling up. That's what it's all about.
leveling up? Is this like a tier thing? Have I?
Absolutely.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's just I can feel it, and it just feels real good.
You get used to that feeling. You feed on that feeling. That will get you through it. That's what it's all about down here, gaining power. And, after seeing how you handled yourself out there, I have half a mind, once you're finally down here with me permanently, new number 2.
About yeah. Um. Well, I mean, I wasn't able to do that by myself. I had help from Laurel. He he's the one who brought me back up.
Well,
Gotta
this
take
is-
care of your employees. They're an investment.
absolutely, you're right, Lorem. You do need to take care of your crew. And this bench, there's a lot of room on this bench. That's all I'm saying. We could do this for forever. But hey, Bryn, that's you, right? Like, this is your next step. Recruiting for the team.
Well, I don't know. I think our major step right now should be releasing all these souls in Elturel and making sure they're free. That's why we're here. That's why-
Right. I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I realize you're not down here with me yet, but you will be, and I'm glad that you're getting acclimated to what your future looks like.
Um,
It ain't all bad.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, you haven't really told me your whole spiel, Black Cloak. Like, maybe as your number 2, you think I could maybe help free some more souls? I don't know. You mentioned something about soul coins. That doesn't sound very nice.
What is your definition of nice? It's nice to have them, to own them, to feel the power in between your fingertips. Lauren, back me up on this. I saw you must have one of y'all must have had one. You were operating that fancy vehicle back there.
Oh, that's what that was? I mean, it was just a coin.
Yeah, had a soul in it.
Wait, what?
I mean, it can't get much more explicit. It's a soul coin. It is a coin. It's minted out of soul.
And
It's not a.
what happens to them when you put them in these machines?
They get consumed. That's what souls are for. You consume them. Use them.
Completely consumed?
Well, I mean, we weren't out there all that long. There's probably still a little bit left in the fella that you put in the gas tank, but yeah. So you get consumed, then you just pop a new one in. Fine, machine will work, no problem.
Okay, hold on, Black Cloak. So, if we use the soul coin for, as you say, not that long of a time, and then is there a way to recover the soul coin and release the soul?
I wish if you could figure out how to do that. Oh, we could make a lot of money together. Sadly, no. Once it's gone, it's gone. Used up.
Can you release the soul before you use it up? Like Stone's coin form?
Yeah, I suppose you could. Theoretically, you could.
Well, how does it? Okay, I need to understand this. How does one have their soul turned into a coin? Is this like a deal that they make with you, or what's the process here?
Well, as you know, folk be collecting soul contracts. I got one on Bryn. Evangeline, I'm still waiting for you to sign that piece of paper in your pocket, by the way. I thought you cared about these kids. You had a lot of words about them. But
I care about the... continue on, hun.
Sorry, getting off on a tangent. I'm just exasperated that you hadn't done it yet. So, these soul contracts, they go, there's lots of traders and brokers, and eventually they end up in the hands of Mammon. Mammon has found a way. You all know Mammon, right? Well, he's real powerful devil down here. I don't know how many levels he got, but he's found a way to create these coins, currency down here in the Hells. Makes it real easy to pass and trade the possession of these souls.
So, just to be clear here, then, say I try to save all the children by giving you my soul, right? And then you could just sell it to someone else, and all of a sudden I'm a coin. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it could happen. It could end up that way.
Okay. And do you work with him often? Do you trade with him often?
Oh, no, I'm couple eternities away from that, I think. But with Bryn's help here, maybe someday I could be talking with Mammon in his halls and his helping him talk monetary soul policy.
How many coins do you have, Black Cloak?
Well, and he turns to Mad Maggie. He's like, I'm hoping I might have a few more here in a moment, but I've only got maybe, I don't know, 20 or so.
How about as a sign of good faith in my employment to you, you give me, let's say 5 of them right now?
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
You can have advantage. You haven't been like too mouthy with him.
One more.
And he kind of likes you right now. So he says, 5 coin. Okay, Bryn. I see you're starting off at a strong position there. How about I give you 3 coins?
Done.
And
I just hold out my hand.
And he holds out his hand to Mad Maggie. And she's just like puts her hands up and she digs around in the bag and gives him 3 coins and he gives you 3 coins.
And I'll just be looking at it and kind of just like realizing the weight that there's a soul in each one of these.
I mean, I don't mind if someone's signed into service, getting that service, but destroying them seems a bit much. You said perhaps before the soul is destroyed, it could be released. Is there a button for that, or? And he's like looking at the big machine. He's like, what sort of button would that look like, or lever, or
Amplos, that is the kind of concern and thoughtfulness that we just don't have around here. We didn't build something like that into the mechanism. I never heard of such talk.
Well, could we?
I just don't know.
Well, I feel the person inside would very much appreciate our effort. And he's like tapping on the side of the machine like it can hear him. I would feel quite a bit better if even if only a little bit of them, just a little, not destroyed.
Mad Maggie comes over and she says, "Don't be talking to Mad Black Cloak about freeing souls. He don't know nothing about the matter. But the fact of the matter is, if you were to take one of those soul coins and you cast something that removes a curse, they're all cursed items, of course, right? You could, in theory, release the one imprisoned inside from its bonds, and it would return to the plane where its soul belongs.
Is there any way to tell who's inside these coins before we release them?
I suppose with some amount of divination magic, you might be able to figure that out.
Apples, I hear what you're saying, but we're also in hell, and not all good people go to hell.
Oh, no, I understand, but I mean, it does seem a bit final.
And there are quite a bit of people who don't. I mean, look at what we're doing now. The entire city of Elturel is here. They didn't know what they signed up for.
Like, I mean, my concern here is we know that Black Cloak here is buying the souls of children for cookies, right? So those cookie children get shuttered up the, economy, and all of a sudden they're being burned for fuel because they wanted a cookie in hell. I mean,
So it's still a bit further in my book. The ability to cast a removal of cursing sort of magic. That's fairly advanced in the paladin classes. But if I were to learn that and use that on this, and he points to the furnace, then the soul inside could get out before it was destroyed. Perhaps.
That could be. That part, I never heard anyone trying to do that. What kind of, there's a lot of questions about that. Some of that essence has been burned off already.
What does a half a soul look like?
Well, hopefully it was the bad half that burned off.
whatever got them to hell. You're purifying them.
Yes, but you can't purify them to nothing. Nothing. There's not much hope left when you've got nothing. Or only you have hope left if you have nothing. That seems a bit philosophical.
Apples, sweetie, if you try that, you definitely come back and tell Mad Maggie what happens. I'm very curious about this proposition.
Oh yes, I certainly will. Several of my experiments to this sort of thing have resulted in me learning how to redraw eyebrows.
Oh, you come up with the damnedest things, Applos.
I was trying to learn to bake, and it did not go so well.
He did become a good baker, though. I mean,
Oh
his
yes,
scones are to die for.
I did have a few decades of practice.
Black Cloak has kind of come over closer by you, Evangeline, and he says, "Look, Evangeline, I do understand that you don't like me. I want to own your soul. That is very clear between us. We have an accord. We understand each other. But what if I was to say that there might be a way that I could release souls of those children whom you express so much concern over?"
But I thought that was what we were trying to. The
Well,
deal was already. I thought
I
our
can
original
see-
agreement here.
I just understand you don't respect me. You vilify
no.
my methods. I don't know if we would even work all that well together. So I'm thinking maybe there's a second way.
Okay, so what's your second way?
You see, I got this estranged wife of mine who's we have it was a messy split. Nothing formal in terms of our separation, but if she were to, let's say, end up no longer alive, I'd have a lot of souls coming my way. I'm willing to, I was playing the long game on these kids, but I really need some action happening. The old Black Cloak army a little sooner than that. I can't be waiting around for these kids to get all old and.
So, Black Cloak, your ex-wife aside, just for my own clarification here, what do you want with an army?
I want to move on up the ranks. I want what every devil wants. I want power.
Well, I understand that, and I think that we understand each other. Now, you misunderstand me. It's not that I dislike you, Black Cloak. It's that I find this child gambit to be beneath you. And I think
It's
you
all I
understand
got.
that too. I know, but I think that you know it's beneath you. And we understand
Look.
each other now. So
I'll admit, I have a fair bit of pride here. And I'm not super proud of going in there to El Terrell and talking to these kids. I feel like kind of creepy.
you were the creepy guy offering cookies to the children. It's a fair point.
Yeah. And I'm not that. I want to strike fear into people. I want them to be like, ugh, Black Cloak, ugh, gross. I want fear in hearts. I want my name to be revered. And so I think I'll be willing to give them, those kids, their souls back if you help me out with this little task. Take her out. She's no good anyway.
I have no doubt that that's true. And maybe we can help you with your ex-wife. We're gonna need some more details beyond just like kill her because she's bad. I mean, we need to understand what we're doing. But honestly, I think we can work together. Do you want more power? We want to disrupt the power structure. Things mutually beneficial. So
I think we can make this happen. Let me share a little bit of info, a little backstory for you.
all right.
So we've been separated for some time. She herself, Evangeline, I don't want this to sound like a come on or anything, but she kind of reminds me a little bit like you. Something,
How
I don't know,
so,
some
Black
kind of
Cloak?
fey energy about you that reminds me of her. She came from, spent a lot of time in the Feywild.
Interesting.
But maybe too much. And kind of did something to her mind. She kind of became a little bit insane. And that's what drew me to her. It's what I found attractive. But she has this a fascination with the dead, particularly
You are in hell.
the undead. Yeah, she dabbles in the necromancy and such. But she likes traveling with there's this traveling emporium run by a guy named Mahadi. The two of them, they've got some kind of on again, off again thing. I don't care. I'm over her. We're done.
Clearly.
Just real, but I know she's with them right now. She's hanging out. It's his Wandering Emporium is it's a great place to go if you're looking to procure something, purchase something, get information, that sort of thing. Food is great. If you got a chance to check out the food, it's great. But that's where she's at. So she wanders around in one of these infernal war machines herself. I happen to know she's getting it repaired with them right now. I was actually coming back to the fort hoping maybe I could get BB or something to go and take care of something. But then you all were here, and I was like, they're way more capable and competent than... I shouldn't make BB do this. He'll botch it for sure.
Now, Black Cloak, I do have to wonder just a little bit. Are you stalking your ex-wife? Because knowing her movements, knowing where she's standing, this seems a little creepy. So I need to know, I need a solid reason why this woman, besides just being your ex-wife, should
what
die.
What more reason do you need than I'll release the souls of those kids? I mean, you're not really feeling for this.
I feel for the kids. I feel for the kids. I also feel
What?
bad for the wicked fey necromancer ex-wife who broke my heart.
All right.
Come on, Evangeline.
The necromancy is not looking good for her. I will tell you that. You tell me she's a necromancer, and I do kind of feel like, not so nice. So that's a point in favor of her not being a super nice person. So I'll give you that.
Right now, she's been traveling around. She's a scavenger herself. She's been going around trying to obtain demon ichor to design weapons, really nasty weapons. This demon ichor, it pools about as a result of the blood war. When huge battles between the devils and the demons occur, this stuff just gets left over and kind of pools about. And some of the various warlords like herself, she goes around, she's in the soul business too. So if you hold that over me, should be holding it over her too.
I am not saying she is a nice person. I'm just trying to understand the situation before I become your hitman.
I know. Anyway, she goes around in the midst of collecting all these souls. She also collects this stuff and creates these weapons. If you get involved in some kind of conflict with someone that's using these demon ichor weapons, you be careful. If that stuff touches your skin, who knows what'll happen to you. I've seen people have their insides turned to their outsides. I've seen wings sprout from the backs of individual spines. It's a whole mess. So
I'm
you
assuming
rest assured
it.
she's selling some of this stuff to the demons and devils that are fighting over by your precious El Terrell. I'm sure there'll be some ramifications of that on some of these mortal souls you're trying to save.
So she's an arms dealer, essentially. That sells. Yeah. Okay.
So you broke up with one arms dealer who was insane and immediately got together with another arms dealer who's mad.
I have a type.
Clearly.
Although she seems lovely, honestly.
Maggie seems like a wonderful person. For hell. Surprisingly wonderful.
Even outside of hell, I think she's just delightful. Okay, so let me put this into terms that might be acceptable to us. Your ex-wife is creating hell weapons.
That's right.
And selling them that could endanger the people of El Terrell. That's a fair way of presenting this?
Yeah, that's the way I was presenting it to you, to convince you to kill her.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just trying to see is this justified? Am I going to go up to this poor woman and she's going to say, actually, I sell delightful baked goods without requiring souls? And she says as she's dying, in a gutter.
Do you think a lovely woman like that would ever have any interest in old Black Cloak?
I just stare at Bad Maggie.
Okay, fine. I do get my cookies from Maggie. Okay, bad example.
All right. Well,
Black Cloak, I think you owe me some information.
Remind me again, what information was that?
Yes, we had spoken briefly in El Terrell. I was looking for information on Zariel and how one might go about nulling and voiding a soul contract.
Well, really the only way to do that would be to strike a deal with the person that originated, get consent from both parties involved, or possible if you could find the original contract and destroy it. That'd be very difficult. That'd be like Bryn searching the cosmos trying to find which wall I put his her contract on. It doesn't seem likely, Lorem. But that's it. That's what you would do.
Wait, what did we do with Creeve's contract?
So, it probably would register with you that would not be the original contract.
Okay.
We don't have to
Copies.
speculate on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, copies. So wait, then I'm sorry. So how would the soul contracts transfer to you if we off your ex-wife?
Well, we were married, and part of that arrangement was, our collective property, whether that be soul contracts or other things, are merged and melded, and I just need her out of the way so that they can be bequeathed to me.
Sorry,
Wait a
so
second.
hell's a community property state.
Yeah, we got the common law marriage here.
Okay, Black Cloak, clarify. Your ex-wife is a warlord, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Maggie, what do you consider yourself?
I'm a warlord myself.
I just turned to Black Cloak and I go, "Are you a soul digger?"
Lauren, you're already kicking a man while he's down and calling me these names. It doesn't make me feel much better about myself.
It'd be really hard to make you feel better about yourself and your position. So,
Oh, no, it's actually rather easy. And Aplos just walks over to him like he's going to give him a hug.
He puts like an arm around
Hey, gives him a
Aplos's.
hug. See? Hugs make people feel better.
Oh, Apples. Okay. You're too kind for this world.
Well, that's
Maggie, what happens? I turned back to Maggie. Sorry, if you wanted to say something.
No, go ahead.
So that boar fellow, what was he?
He was one of my rivals, a warlord himself. There's a number of us contesting for territory and soul coins and the such.
What happens when one warlord defeats another?
Well, you better bet that I'm going to be finding where his fort is and taking his machines and parts and salvage and hopefully more than a few more soul coins.
Okay, so if we do the same for Black Cloak becomes a warlord by inheritance.
I think that is what old Dr. Black Cloak is aiming to do. And it's cute, him trying to get up into the ranks of old man Maggie. And you can see Black Cloak just like, just exasperated. He says, I'm going to make it here some way, somehow, whether it's with them or someone else.
Well, as I said, Black Cloak, I really do think that we have a common goal here. We want to shake things up. You want to move up. I mean, I think that we have a beneficial relationship. I just, we just need to determine if your ex-wife is our best move. So,
You know what? It's been a long day. How about we sleep on that conversation? As your
good.
legal representative, Evangeline, I hope you don't mind.
No, I think that that's a fair thing. I think we heard your pitch and it presents an interesting opportunity. So, yeah, let's sleep on it and circle back.
So you end up taking a long rest, and you can have, you're going to be safe here. So feel free to have any RP conversation you'd like to have.
Yeah. So before we settle down for the night, I want to find Mad Maggie away from Black Cloak, and I want to have a private conversation with Mad Maggie.
Okay. At some point during your rest, you go and you find her cooking some food around a fire. She's stirring a pot of bubbling grossness inside a big black cauldron. Lauren, what can I do you you hungry?
I might take you up on that offer here in a minute, but I came to have a little chat.
Well, sure. Pull up a bit of salvage and sit around the fire with old Mad Maggie.
I'll do that. And today was a really interesting day. We learned a lot about each other. And I have to admire your couple digs towards Black Cloak. It was really good. But BB told me that you two might be an item. Yeah.
Oh, I think a lot. Don't confuse my little jokes at old Black Cloak for disrespect. That's just gentle teasing. I have a lot of affection for the lad.
My question here is I want to know more about that. How deep does that affection run?
I'm not exactly sure what you are implying there, Lorem. I'm in it. I'm in it for myself. If I find out old Mr. Blackcloak is, leaving the reservation, as so to speak, I give him a whooping.
The reason I bring this up is because he did bring an interesting prospect. If we take down this other warlord, that's 2 warlords that we've taken down. How many are there in Avernus?
Oh, countless there, Lorem. I feel like it's like whack-a-mole. You knock one down, 2 more spring up.
Yeah, fair enough. But you obviously will be inheriting this Ragged Draggers, what you can salvage of his
I suppose you're
band.
right. Yeah.
So my proposition here to you is, and of course, don't take any offense to this. If you truly do have a shining for Black Cloak, then I would hardly ever insinuate what I might be about to say. But should that be just a fleeting affinity, if we go take out this warlord, that leaves Black Cloak with the inheritance of all that comes with a warlord. And we both know just how lovably ineffectual Black Cloak is. What if I propose to you that we do this for Black Cloak, and then we do the same for Black Cloak, and you have now gained the power of 2 additional warlords?
Lorem, just a little friendly advice. I overheard your friend there is pledged to Mr. Blackcloak.
Yeah, that would inherently mean that Bryn would come under your control at that point.
I might think again, if you think you're going to take a run at Mr. Blackcloak, you might want to think twice about what might happen to Bryn.
So what does happen if you kill the second party?
Well, I had a little bit of a look-see at that contract. Blackcloak was very proud of it. He doesn't have a whole lot of souls. So he was flashing it about, and there is a clause in there that if any harm is to come to Mr. Blackcloak, it too will be felt by Miss Bryn. So while I appreciate your audacity coming here and trying to make a triple-double deal with me, and that does sound lovely, and I would very much appreciate that. You brought Lulu here, and so I just felt it a kindness that I maybe share that little tidbit with you, because I very much would like to learn more about Zariel, and I think maybe we just don't overcomplicate things with Blackcloak. As you say, he is a bit ineffectual, so I'm not so worried about him rising to power and things of that nature. So. Plus, we have a pretty good understanding of where things are at.
I get what you're saying there. Now it was just a thought.
You keep that kind of thing going there, Lorm. That you will do well in Avernus with that kind of posture and that kind of problem solving skills.
Yeah, thank you. It's the one thing that I was good at, so I'm glad that it's applicable down here. Um, well, if that's that, what are your thoughts on taking over this other warlord? How much of a thorn in your side is this
Oh well,
individual?
she is quite a problem for me. So I will shed no tears if you take out Fëanor. That's her name.
Fëanor.
But you might want to be advised that if you are going to try to deal with her, she is very powerful as far as the spell casting is concerned. So you if you're going to take her out, you're going to have to act very fast and with surprise.
Hmm. That's very, very helpful information. Do you know of anything that might assist us? We've heard so much talk of sacred and hellish relics and things of that sort. You know, what resources are out there in the wastelands?
Well, there's no shortage of as you can see, I thrive off of wreckage. So, dialect vehicles and the such, old watchtowers and things of that nature. That's my domain, but I'm not exactly sure what you were looking for. But um, you might go. You're gonna go and take care of old Mister Blackcloak's problem. Um, Mahadi's traveling emporium is a great place to find resources and knowledge and the such. I saw Mr. Blackcloak gave you a few soul coins. That's good currency there. Could be if you got questions that need answered. Maybe you find something there while you're dealing with his problem.
You know what? I think that's going to be our best bet.
It's going to take me some time to deal with old little Lulu here anyway, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad for you to take a little field trip, so to speak.
No, I think that's smart. I guess my only other question for you here, Maggie, is: do you happen to know anything about and I'll pull out my notes here. Anything about a holy weapon that was plunged into a great big long sword wreathed in a heavenly aura, plunged into the ground against some
I don't, but
beast-like creature?
that's what I'm hoping we find when we dig into Lulu's little brain there, is that we be able to find some more information about that. I think you're speaking of the legendary sword of Zariel, the weapon that she wielded when she was still Angel.
Oh, so that's what that's called.
I think so.
Well, I think Lulu would be the only one to know where it is. How big is Avernus?
Well, it's basically endless, Lorem. We can't really capture it necessarily on maps and the such. It's ever changing.
Hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for the helpful information, Maggie. It was truly lovely.
Well, you have yourself a nice sleep there tonight, and I'll try my best not to pop in any of those dreams of yours. She gives you a wink.
That sounds vaguely threatening. Have a good night, and I'll go ahead and turn and walk out.
She just keeps stirring her pot. All right. Anything else that other people want to do?
Yeah, if I could, I think Bryn's gonna gather, try to get Aplos and Evangeline together while Lorum's talking with Mad Maggie.
Sure.
And she'll gather the three of them together, and she says, "So, I think you overheard Black Cloak after the fight. He offered me, I guess."
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man!
his second in command position. What do you think about that?
I think that you don't want to be second in command to a fool. But,
Yeah, you're right. It's just, yeah.
well, you don't want to be second in command to a fool unless you can control him. In which case, so
That is what I was thinking. Ever since we got down here, I'm sure you've all noticed it too. I feel like my powers have increased, and I'm actually, back in Boulder's Gate. Sure, my family, we helped out, we did what we could, but I mean, as well as Aplos knows, we were on pretty hard times in terms of finding the resources to support everyone, even just our family. And here, I feel like we're actually making a big difference. We're fighting off actual devils and demons, and on a quest to save innocent lives of a city that's been swallowed by hell. And I don't know, I feel like, and this is just me kind of spitballing here, but I feel like maybe I'd be doing some more good here, with Black Cloak's support. And if I can convince him to get us more of these, and I take out the 3 soul coins, and we can figure out a way to release them all, then I feel like maybe we're doing, a net benefit here.
Oh, well, I think you could do good here. But you must remember that you shouldn't plan to stay here. This isn't where we belong. Our souls aren't meant for this place.
Yeah, you're right.
Bryn,
Good.
oh, I was just going to say that I understand that it feels nice to feel like you have the power to do good. I think that I mean, the work that you did um, up above was often thankless, and I'm sure seemed like you were spinning your wheels a lot. So I get how it's attractive down here that, it you actually can do something that changes it. But I just worry that power down here is of the corrupting type. And I would hate to see you corrupted by it.
While you're saying that, Bryn's been like eyeing the 3 soul coins that
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's we already lost her. Never
Um,
should have.
Yeah, I think you're right. Aplos, why don't you hold on to these? And she hands the 3 soul coins to Aplos.
He's like, eh. And then he goes to put them away, and so he takes out his sword case and he opens it up, and a bunch of coins spill out, and he just sort of like puts them in with the other coins and then puts them back in with a little bit of dust and debris, and then closes them back up, because Aplos is really good at holding coins.
Well, once you figure out a way to remove the curse, then maybe we can actually start, releasing some of these trap souls.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Night, dear.
Long rest has been applied. You
Woo.
wake up in the. You wake up, I was going to say in the morning, but after 8 hours, and what feels like 8 hours, feeling rested, and, there aren't really days necessarily in Avernus, so you wake up, and it looks much the same as when you went to bed. It's kind of that feeling of you took the afternoon nap, and you wake up, and it feels like it should be morning, but it's really evening, that kind of sensation, and, things are happening in Fort Knucklebone. The Madcaps and the Redcaps are harassing the two Kenku who are trying to repair the damaged vehicles from the day before the battle. Mad Maggie is kind of loitering around with Black Cloak as you come to. When they see you, Mad Cloak or Black Cloak waves you over and he says, "So, have you made a decision about what you might be doing?"
Not yet. I turned in early last night, so I didn't actually get the chance to fully talk with the rest of the team, though they talked amongst themselves. So I just wanted breakfast to catch up and before we make a group decision.
There's some like porridge that Mad Maggie goes and shuffles off for you. Again, doesn't taste the greatest, but it's just bland.
I make sure that we're kind of separated and we do kind of like a group huddle with our porridge.
Sure.
So last night I spoke to Mad Maggie and I learned some very valuable information. Proposed a coup against Black Cloak, and she was quite excited about the idea, except that she happened to spot Bryn's original contract. And there's a clause in that contract that says any harm that comes to Black Cloak will be felt by you.
What?
So we can't get rid of Black Cloak without getting rid of you.
Well, that
So-
wouldn't be good at all.
No. So that's something to keep in mind because now we have to babysit an ineffectual demon that we may or may not be putting on top of a small army. So that's something to consider. Do we want to put a bigger target on this devil's back?
Well, if we're concerned about Black Cloak having a target on his back, and Black Cloak has already had the idea to kill his wife, who he says is crazy, I would think Black Cloak's wife has probably had the same idea, and there's probably already a target on his back.
Yes. I'm just wondering, is her target more dangerous than others it might attract?
Well, I would think there is, because we are in hell, and it hath not fury like.
Devil
Well-
scorned.
Finish the sentence, Atlas. No.
So that's just something to consider about what we're going to do. I also learned some valuable information about her, and I already forgot her name, Alex. 'Cause I didn't write it
The,
down.
Feanor.
the woman? Feanor.
Feanor.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she is a necromancer. Maggie was telling me about how she is a heavy spellcaster, and her advice was that if we're going to do anything, it has to be a complete surprise and it has to be done quick. Do we have the ability to do that?
Maybe I should. I feel like she would have said something else too, or manipulate. Don't do it yourself. Orchestrate other events to happen to take care of her.
Oh well, I'm good
So
at
like
that.
Rube
I
Goldberg
was
situation.
I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to do
I think-
that
I think
when
she
I
would've
got
said
that
that.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just do the same thing we did yesterday. We put her on a demon grinder, go real fast, and then push her off. And then
I don't know if that would work. Spellcasters tend to have fancy abilities like flying, for instance.
Or just slowing down their fall. Think about that too.
Well, I mean, there is an Emporium Which
Maggie did advise us that if we're going to get any information whatsoever or buy any shiny toys, it would be there.
yes, so we could go and observe and plan and buy delightful baked goods that I can eat.
So I have, of course, we're all. I'm gonna lean in close because there are probably people listening. You could also talk to the ex-wife.
I
She
was
might have-
thinking that as well, but if we broker a deal with her, we are ruining our chances with Mad Maggie because they are indeed rivals as well.
And Black Cloak.
And Black Cloak.
Now I realize that I'm connected to him, so
Well, what I'm saying is, the wife, if she's as powerful as advertised, she might know how to undo that tie to preserve you.
That would, well, technically, if they're still married, wouldn't your contract go to her?
I didn't even think about that.
We really need
I
to.
wonder if she has equal ownership over you as Black Cloak. We could talk about that. That's a good talking point. Smart thinking, Evangeline. This is exactly why I hired you. I think now our best bet is to go to this wandering emporium and see what information and wares they have available. Bryn, are you willing to spend those coins that you got? Because they seem to be the only currency that doesn't involve our own souls.
And she just looks at Aplos.
Well, they do barter in other things. I mean, this is all a bit junky, but we have these fancy bracers, and he holds up the fancy bracers, which I mean, he seemed rather proud of them. Or perhaps they need other parts or services.
Or information. What information do we know?
We know quite a bit, I think. We know.
What information that wouldn't endanger us in our goal?
Well,
we know that Baphomet is just around the corner.
Mhm.
We are aware of Baphomet.
We know that Lulu is potentially going to get her memories back, which could. I wouldn't want to put Lulu at danger, but we do.
I feel like that information is also going to help us, and if others know where things like Zariel's sword are, that puts us in a bad spot.
We do know that the Boar fellow was just dispatched, so his residence is unguarded.
I think it would be in our best interest to keep that a secret because Mad Maggie is looking to get that, and she's an ally at this point. So any more power that she gets is basically power we have.
Oh, I thought that was Black Cloak who was after that, but okay.
I think the
Southern accents are hard to.
Yeah. I lost track. There's a lot of gravel in the voice. She's a lovely woman.
She really is. We had a lovely chat last evening.
Reminds me of Duke Van Thamper, I think.
Speaking of Duke Van Thamper, we know that the church and everything in El Terrell was highly corrupted, and somewhat they're the uncorrupted's aims right now.
Yeah, well, I guess the only way to find out is to pack up and roll off.
If I say we tell Black Cloak here that we are willing to take a look at the situation, see if it's something that we can do safely.
All right.
Yep.
So it sounds like you are in agreement that you, at least on the base point, that you want to go to the Wandering Emporium to check it out and maybe make
do some
decision.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Check it out a little.
So you do that, and we're not gonna do overland travel and stuff like that. necessarily in this game unless you go way off the rails. Then maybe I'll do some rolls and stuff like that. But
how many things do we run over on the way there? Because that's important.
Oh, you're taking the yeah. She Mad Maggie will let you take the demon grinder with you. It still has some charge left from the previous coin. So you make your way there, with little incident. You just riding under the red sky of Avernus, and the only thing that's going to mess with you would be something else with an infernal war machine, and it just doesn't happen. You're not attacked by any other warlords or anything like that. So, of course, time is difficult to track here, and so you journey for what feels like a great while. And right as you're maybe starting to feel a little bit fatigued, you see up ahead what looks like some kind of a caravan or something. A number of... Let me get a page here to see if I've got a description. But basically what you're looking at is a number of these really large infernal war machines have been parked in such a way, like much larger than the things. I'm thinking like the size of the Jawas thing from like the original Star Wars movie. Like these huge, slow-moving things have been just kind of parked in like a horseshoe-shaped kind of formation. So it almost gives you like this visual of this huge, towering like iron wall. And like at the base of that, there are a number of different vehicles that are parked on the outside. Things more like the size of your vehicle. This is all based on like directions that Black Cloak would have given you. You've got the map. And so he marks like, okay, currently this is where the Emporium is, and you head that direction. And so once you see this, you're like 100% sure like you found your destination. There's kind of like, there's like a gap of maybe, I don't know, we'll say like 20 feet between two of the vehicles. Like it kind of creates like this natural like entryway into the inner circle where you can see a number of different tents and things like that set up beyond. This is the Wandering Emporium. And so you will be maybe directed by some imps and quasits and things like that to, park your vehicle over here. And, you got like the big mess outside like the farmer's market or something. Like you got to park over here. There's no clear lines, and so you do that. And,
are there imps with like little cones?
Yeah, they got the little
directing?
right here, and so you manage to do so. And as you kind of approach the entranceway, there is this man who, before you can get into the inner, like actually enter into the Emporium, this man that's wearing all sorts of exotic cloths. He's got a bandana over his head, kind of long grayish blackish beard. He seemingly like pops up like right behind you, and he says, welcome friends to Mahadi's Wandering Emporium. I am Mahadi, and this is my Emporium. Welcome. What brings you out? Do you come in search of secrets? Do you come in search of lost treasures? What is it that entices your heart? What does your heart desire? I have it all.
We're doing a bit of window shopping at the moment. We don't quite
window
have our heart
shopping.
set.
Oh, yes. You are quite welcome to come here and browse. I do not poo-poo those who just want to take a looky about. But I do need you to sign a contract before you enter, promising me that you will pay all debts before you leave.
Debts to who?
To me, Mahadi. If you are to purchase something, if you are to consume something, if you are to enjoy the luxuries of my paradise. You must pay the price. You would be surprised the number of freeloaders that we have come through here, thinking that they can just enjoy and not pay for these luxuries.
Well, that seems perfectly reasonable. And if we browse and decide not to partake or purchase anything,
Of
we
course.
simply.
You would simply be allowed to leave.
Well, that seems more than reasonable enough. Do you have a copy in paper that I could read real quick?
Of course. And he, snaps his fingers in a very Black Cloak kind of way. Like, it almost gives you, like, the heebie-jeebies. Like, you've been here before a little bit. Contract pops up. But it is a lot simpler. It's pretty straightforward, and it seems like upon inspection, it's anyone who enters the Wandering Emporium shall pay, have all their debts settled up before leaving. If not, they will be indebted to Mahadi, and resolution or discharge of that debt is at his discretion.
I have a very important question before we sign.
Of course.
Lovely. Is there an entrance fee to get into your Emporium?
There is no entrance fee. All are welcome to come and, as I say, browse. But if you are to sample, if you are to indulge, we simply ask that you pay for these luxuries. It is only fair.
No, that's entirely reasonable. I just want to make it very explicit that there's no fee upon entry, and we are not in your debt just by being inside.
Oh, hells no. Of course not.
That's perfectly fair.
Look, I can assure you, I am a direct representative of Asmodeus, and all deals that happen here are backed by he.
Well, that puts my mind at ease.
Of course, and if there is something that you need, of course, you let me know. If there is something that seems wrong, if something is not to your liking, to your expectations, please, you must let me know. Asmodeus would want it so. He would want to know that that you have not found happiness here in this paradise, in this, let's face it, not so wondrous lair of the Nine Hells. Please, come. Let me give you a tour. Let me give you a reprieve. I can tell you are not from these lands. Oh, you must, sir. And he looks at Aplos. Do you not desire the taste of real food? Tell me, what is it that you desire?
Oh, actually, I was just looking about Stevia, and he gestures down to his dog. Was asking after brandy, and I thought maybe you'd have one of those little bowls for hellhounds.
I grab Aplos by the elbow and I go, all debts will be settled, Aplos.
Oh, well, yes, of course I would negotiate the appropriate fee. That did bring up a bit of a question. Do you allow barter, or is there a particular coin of the realm that you use? We have rather an assortment, and he sort of like pulls out like a little bauble, a piece of jewelry, a bit of gold. He's like, these are all acceptable, yes?
Well, I will leave it to individual vendors to tell you what they accept and do not accept. Typically, coins and currency of your realms may buy certain things. Of course, soul coins are the preferred currency of most, including moi.
Oh, that does seem reasonable.
But feel free to make your deals. Of course, it is sport here to make deals.
Oh yes. I've been in several markets, and I'm told that I am a very good opponent to have.
I like you, Aplos. Come, let me give you a tour. And he takes a big arm around you and starts wandering you about. And he points out, he's just like pointing out different tents as you go. And cause none of them have necessarily storefronts or things like that. Although, as you're coming into the interior, where you see this collection of brightly colored tents, you see him. You pass by like a wooden sign that just says. Strangely, like, you feel like you perceive it in all of the languages that you understand. Multilingual sign. It says, "All are welcome here. No fighting, no spell casting, no exceptions." And he's just pointing out different things. He's like, this place, this is my favorite. It is the infernal rapture. Every meal, every taste, every sensation that your tongue could derive from the multiverse can be found here. Our chefs are top notch. We will treat you to a 9-course meal of your choosing for 1 soul coin.
Oh.
Our services are highly rated, 5 stars. We have we can find this on Yelp.
Oh. Actually,
They would be
I don't know that I've seen a star since we've been here. And he's sort of like,
What do you say, Aplos? Are you hungry? Would you like a meal?
I
As his legal representative, I would have to say that we would have to think on that particular decision.
Not
Although it does sound
hungry!
tempting.
This way, Aplos! Let me take you over here! You are a
like,
man that
"Zoom."
likes... You are of elven ancestry, am I right?
I am of elven
You
ancestry. How did you
like
know?
to be pampered. You like to look fancy and pretty. Let me take you over here to our spa services.
I feel like I do look like fancy and pretty, but
He just like drags you to this other tent. He's like, we have a full spa. We could do your pedicures. We can do we've got a spa. We've got also everything that we will pamper you so well. Massage. Oh, you name it. Luxury is here.
oh, wow, that does look rather. I was, um, I, hmm, I think I do have to finish the whole tour first, though.
Other things you desire. This way.
Ah!
You can all make a perception check.
All right.
Oof. The only thing I'm watching is
How
Aplos'
bad these
face and
rolls are.
making sure he doesn't do anything he regrets.
It's slightly better.
We're all very distracted.
Yeah, we're all like, this is all looking very tempting to Aplos, and we're like,
Yeah.
stay strong, Aplos.
Okay. So he's dragging you around. He's like, we have all sorts of street vendors. You can talk to them, but how long has it been since you've been to your mortal plane? Your hair is looking a little ragged. A barber is what you need. Ha! And he drags you over. He's like, Bernie is the best barber. He could give you a shave. Okay, you don't need that, but a haircut. Certainly.
Your hair looks lovely.
I snapped my. Is the spellcasting sign for all of it, or was it just for that one area?
It was like the global, like, now that you have entered.
Oh god, no, I can't do it then.
Quick question. Oh, this has been absolutely lovely. It's wonderful. You've done
My
such an
dear.
amazing job. But if one was looking for something to protect them from enemies, is there something like that we could get? Some sort of self-defense weapon?
Absolutely. This way. And he drags you down another row of tents, and he says, "Now, of course, quality does come with a heavy price. What are you willing to pay?"
Well, I haven't decided on a budget yet. It's more if I see something and it's something that I know is the right thing, I can determine worth. But I have to have it, really speak to me before I settle on a price.
Well, are you looking for something in the terms of armor to put on your frame, an item to hold on your arm or your head? Something more utilitarian, maybe. Tools?
No, I'm really looking for maybe. Well, I've heard there are certain weapons that have a coating, some sort of that does particular damage. So if someone was mugged or something.
I know. Yes. Are you speaking of Demon Ichor?
Yes.
We sell it here! Right this way! And he drags you to another tent. Although this tent is a little bit different in that it's got there's a pen next to it, and in the pen you can see all these weird looking larvae creatures, these little worm things that are huge, they're medium sized, they're the size of a cow or something, and they're kind of lounging about, scrunching about this field. And he says, "No one is better versed in this resource than Zeneth." Zeneth, this is his farm. Between you and me, he is not a big fan of mine, but I don't hold it against him. He'll probably ask you to kill me.
Oh, gracious! And you keep him just right here in your emporium.
It's amusing. Every month he's sending people try to kill me, and I take care of them. It's still he tries every month without fail. He's very predictable, this one. But
wow,
very
all
good
right.
Demon Ichor salesman. He's the best. Not so good at hiring assassins.
Evidently not. You'd think that you would just give them the demon weapons and you'd be.
Oh, he's tried that. He's tried everything. It's no good.
And so, do you have some resistance to them, or how are you able to?
He's just so predictable. I see it coming from a mile away. My defenses here are top notch.
Backed by Asmodeus, I'm sure.
Right, you are. It is pointless. Asmodeus puts a lot of faith and trust in me.
So, if you don't mind, I'm sorry. I just find this all very amusing. What are some of the things that he's tried? What are some of his failures?
Oh, he tried to put poison in my eggs in my breakfast. He had people jump out at me from a drive-by vehicle as I was taking my stroll around the camp. No good.
Disgraceful.
Yes. He sent me gifts. All sorts of gifts. I get gifts all the time from. Nobody sends me gifts but him. I don't even open them anymore.
They're all poisoned. They're just.
Yeah. Explosives. You name it. He's tried it. It's so good.
Well, how do you always see it coming? Do you have eyes around, or just?
I have eyes everywhere.
Impressive.
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
smart. Yes. You have to protect yourself in this glorious place that you've built.
I do, and a lot of people rely on me. I supply a lot of things to the front line of the Blood War. I help to repair. I'm very proud of the fact that I am one of the premier locations for Zariel to send her machines to be repaired.
Oh, you repair machines.
Absolutely, we do repairs here. We also, a fair number of weapons and items come through my hands, and for the right price, for the right number of soul coins, I pass them on.
Interesting. So, do you speak with Zariel directly, or?
Oh, well, no. She works through proxies, of course. Um,
I'm a big fan. I'm sorry. I get a little starstruck.
Of course, we get many like you here. Wishing to see her. Um,
Well, I do appreciate you getting me with him. I think we should probably go and see if there's anything that
I will.
comes to us.
I have taken up enough of your time. I will leave you to it. But please, if there is, as I say, anything at all, any complaint, any desire, you let me know. I will find it for you.
Aplos is still two swooshes back, trying to convince the barber that for 40 gold, he could get his haircut and Stevia's hairstyled.
The
Your stevia poodle cut.
Oh my gosh.
the
Stevie is gonna kill us in our sleep.
the barber is a pretty well kempt woman, maybe in her like late 30s. She gives you like you get the sense that she might be from Kalimshan. Actually, she might be actually from your plane. She just has the accent, the look, and she tells you, I'll be happy to do that. Let's maybe call it 20 gold.
Oh, that's much better than 40. And he's I'm so good at this. And he puts the other 20 away and pays her the 20 gold.
So as you're, she puts you in, she's got her little tent, and there is a chair there, in front of a mirror, and scissors and the like, and different creams and shampoos, and she starts doing your hair and cutting it, and she's doing the barber thing, right, where she's just like, so, where have you been in Avernus?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's actually in Avernus, but we landed in El Terrell, and then there was a bit of a chain, and then we drove around, and I hit a thing with a wrecking ball, which was odd, and now I'm here.
El Terrell, that's real recent. I heard that there was a big city that popped up over the river Styx.
Oh, yes,
Did you
all
encounter any
sorts of nonsense.
dragon kin while you were there?
No, I think everything was of the, um, um, what's the PC term for infernal these days?
And she says,
People of Iker?
No.
Um,
she says, so, any draconic
I don't
infernal types?
I don't think so.
And you may recall you did fight some Ibishai, like when you first entered
At the top floor of
High
the-
Hall.
Yeah, we fought a white Abishai.
Oh, I I hmm. I remember him exploding a lot. But I suppose that was of a draconic type. I didn't really think about it that way. Were you looking for one?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I'm just always interested in hearing what Tiamat's followers are up to. That's what kind of drew me here in the first place. Have you ever seen any other draconic activity while you've been down here? Any signs of Tiamat?
Well, there was a big stone that someone told me had draconic on it and big scratch marks. And that was probably about it. Yeah.
Interesting.
For the record, The stone said, "Prove yourself worthy to serve me."
Oh, yes. It
Make
said,
a
prove yourself worthy to serve me, or something.
Aplos. You can make like an insight check while share that.
Okay. This one. A 15, despite my best efforts.
In the mirror, you just see the face of this woman, like, kind of look concerned, I guess, or frustrated.
Oh, not what you were expecting?
Oh, man, it's just I'm not used to working on elvish hair, but I think I don't worry, I got this. And she just continues and finishes up with you. And she says, "What do you think?" Turns around.
It's rather striking, and he's sort of like, bup, 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 bup. I like it. What do they call this style? Shorter. Good.
Yeah. I had nothing.
That's all right. Now you are a devotee of Tiamat?
And she's like looking at you, trying to read your expressions, and she says, "No."
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for then.
And you as well.
And he pops up and shakes the hair out of his collar and says, "Oh, hadn't thought about it, but I guess it'll be a while before I'm able to get a bath. Oh well."
How about anything that anyone else is doing that other than maybe talking to Rahadi, or Rahadin is a different guy. Mahadi.
I am interested in looking for information.
Okay. In particular, what kind of information?
So I want to, as stealthily and low flying as I can, I want to see if there is any. I want to inquire about the price of information. And then I want to see if there are any means of divining the location of an original copy of a contract.
I know where you're going with that, and just to save time, it'll end in a dead end. No one's gonna know how to find.
Yeah, if
locate
they
object
knew how to
that
do that,
thing.
they would be not here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
But maybe there's maybe there's other things like we could RP out just like a general sense of trying to search for information. Probably your best bet for talking with people kind of in an informal way might be at like the restaurant, where there would be people kind of gathered, and you could kind of scope out people at the bar. And
yeah, I'll wait and see if we do that last, because that's probably something that's going to be best done as a group anyways.
Sure.
I want to try to talk with Zarieth and go in there and kind of like get a lay of the weapons thing and see what that whole situation's about.
So you enter in there, and what you see is like this it's a fairly large tent, kind of like with an octagonal kind of pattern on the outside. On the inside, there are just kind of these low, very crudely put together shelves that have all sorts of jars and vials of really non-standard sizes that have this green kind of goo, dark green goo in it. And there's an old hobgoblin in there. There are also maybe a few cages of like small larvae of those things that were like creeping around out in the outside, like smaller size, maybe 2 foot long larvae in iron cages. And as you enter into the tent, he just says, What what can I do you for? What are you looking for? You here to buy some ichor?"
Yes, I am. Well, what I'm looking for, I tend to use a crossbow, and I was thinking I could maybe put it on the bolts a little bit, but I didn't know how that process works. I new to the world of contaminating weapons. So, do you have anything that would help with that, or some pre-made, or what do you have?
What I can tell you is 100 gold pieces of flask. If you're looking to apply this to some of them pointy tips of yours, those arrows, one flask should do 20 or so.
Okay, that seems that seems.
You ever used demon ichor before? You trained in the process?
I am not.
You licensed?
It's a licensing board in Avernus.
That was a
no.
trick question. If you had said yes, I know. I shouldn't sell this to you.
Oh, I like you. So, but do train me. I mean, is there a way to apply?
Well, sure. I'm gonna let you leave without showing you how it works. And he's like kind of helping you out. It sounds like you've got the coin. You're willing to buy one of these.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
So, see, is there such an item that I can give you in your party sheet?
Can you give me this item? And
sure enough, it's in the party sheet. You can grab it.
Hey,
Yep.
nice. Okay.
Ooh.
And then I will just take the gold off. All right. Party sheet. So, I was talking to that Mahadi guy. What is his deal?
Make a deception check.
Not necessarily being deceptive. I really am curious what he thinks about him, but
It's more like because you're gonna try to get him to talk. I think.
Right.
So you need to make some kind of check to see is he willing?
Yeah.
Does he think you're a plant?
Yeah. I got it. I got you.
Okay. So he looks over his shoulders. Yeah. He's quite the character, isn't he? I've been trying to deal with him for years. He's just a slippery guy. He's a slippery folk.
I can see that. He seems to have the ability to be one step ahead. My impression.
Indeed he is. He's got me here slaving away to farm these stupid larvae.
Are you being held against your will?
Bet I am. He's got my soul.
Oh. Well, how did that happen? If you don't mind me asking. Just.
I just wanted a day at the spa. One day to treat myself. And he said, no problem. And he led me to believe that it would just be at no cost. Little did I know, I came out, it was the most wonderful thing in the world. And before I knew it, I read the fine print on the document that I signed, and here I am, trying to work my way inch by inch to pay that debt. And it just seems like the number of days that I have in servitude keeps getting longer and bigger.
Is he adding like room and board and that to your tab?
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. I'm never getting out of this. I've tried everything to get somebody to take his head. And he.
Well,
If only.
I mean,
Now you look like you're probably pretty powerful.
perhaps, but I will tell you up front that I have no grand plan on how to defeat him. It seems to me that he has this place pretty well secured.
Yeah. But you'd be doing a lot of people around here a huge favor if you could find a way.
Are the other merchants also being held?
A lot of them, I suspect.
Have you ever thought of unionizing?
He doesn't allow it. Every time we start talking in a back alley or something, he's there.
All right. Well, I hate to see people being forced into labor. And, I got the impression that he makes you sign the contract when you walk in. The everyone will pay their debts contract, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel that I was somehow indebted to him without knowing it when I was signing that contract.
Look, I've got 9 soul coins secreted away. If you can find a way to take him out, they're yours.
Well, I will be willing to see if it's possible. I can't promise you anything. Again, he says that he's been tried. His many shots on the king, I guess.
All right. Do you need any more demonic, or is there anything else I can help you with?
Well, I've heard he has some sort of girlfriend. Maybe she'd be a way of getting to him.
Can't say I know much about that, but I have noticed him walking around with this pale-faced woman carrying around a parasol with her.
That is really extra. Okay. Interesting. And where does she stay?
I don't know that she stays. I think she comes in here once in a while and she stays for the day and then takes off.
Oh. Okay.
Oftentimes late at night. Or what? Let me rephrase it. Late after dinner.
I understand. Well, it happens, right? Well, I mean, I can't say that that's the way to end them, but often people are vulnerable when they're alone.
And as you're talking to him, he suddenly you're talking about her, and then at some point he clams up as a woman walks into the store. Who is in a kind of lily-colored dress, holding what looks like some kind of a parasol or umbrella made of human skin and bone.
It's more extra than I thought.
And she is flanked by a number of ghouls and zombies behind her. And looking at our time, that's probably maybe the cliffhanger that we will end up on is Fëanor walking into the Demon Ichor shop.
Cliff knows how to pick them.
Yeah.
I think he has a thing for flesh because the
Yeah.
necromancer flesh golem.
Yeah.
Not kink shaming, but
So, let's see. Was there any other quick things that other characters wanted to do? I don't know if I really gave much time to
I want to know what
Bryn to
Bryn's
do.
doing.
Yeah.
No, I think Bryn's kind of just looking over the whole market thing and seeing out what's out there.
Sounds good. Yeah, so this is where we will end off. I don't know how I thought I was going to get through this whole thing in one session. I was gravely mistaken.
When you're looking down, when you look down at it, are we like a third or a half or through what you thought you were doing today?
Probably not even a half.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We were too chatty.
No, like it's good because like at this point I'm just like making stuff up. So everything that I wrote for today I can now use next week, and so
Perfect.
yeah,
All that prep work already done.
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out that way. Yeah, I don't think I thought maybe I didn't think like that the first battle thing would have taken as long. But it was one of those things where I didn't have a comparison because I'd never done
Right.
vehicle battle like that before.
Yeah.
And then we had some good times with at Fort Knucklebone, so that was good.
A lot of bartering happening. It's already begun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like everyone we meet is just gonna try to get us to kill everyone else we meet. Like I just feel this dynamic is.
Is that different than any other D&D adventure?
It's true. It's true.
There's always a bigger devil.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things, but yeah, so I think next time, really, it looks like you are all not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you are convinced that dealing with her is necessarily the right thing. I think you're still trying to collect some information and try to figure out what to do about her and whether it's about doing something to Black Cloak. Then there's the implication to doing something to Black Cloak. What does that do to Bryn? So there's a lot of layers to this situation with all these devils and things that you'll work out next time.
Ooh, Alex, I do have a quick question. With my fine steed, I can do a mastiff, so I can make Stevia a mastiff. Can I make Stevia a very young mastiff?
Like a smaller size category, like a
No,
pup.
I'm not just age-wise.
Sure.
Like, can I control age? Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide the young Stevia out and see if she's a puppy kicker. This is how we'll decide who goes. Slide the dog out, see what happens. Sorry, that was too long of a setup for that payoff.
I like that. We'll add that to the Gold Shoulder playbook.
Yeah.
The puppy kicker.
Puppy kicker.
Oh, that was fun.
Well, I should probably see, do I have any friends online that we can raid? But before we do, probably talk a little bit about, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. By subscribing, you can earn your EXP, your channel points that you can spend on things like giving the players inspiration, naming NPCs, redeeming rumors and the such. You can do all those things a little bit more frequent, maybe. And you can also earn opportunities, or not earn, but find opportunities to play in games with us in our subscriber campaign or community campaign each week. We've got one game that is happening on Friday at 7 p.m. We are currently playing through like the very, very, very tail end of Isle of Dread. So we'll do one of those on Friday. I do have a spot open. So if any of you out there in the audience are subscribers, go back into your email and try to find the email that I would have sent out on Monday with the sign up. It's just first come, first serve at this point, free for all, for whoever wants the last slot. So that's out there. Also, maybe join our Discord if you haven't already. pop the link into the chat for if you want to come hang out with us in between games. But that's all I got. Maybe we'll drop a raid on Defenders of Kobold. I feel like I'm a little love here. So we'll drop a raid on them. Thanks everyone for coming out and hanging out with us here tonight. We'll see you all soon.